Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you Week 8 of BRL. Your Chicago Beartics taking on Ivy and the Houston Tyrantrums. Team are rocking out with Corviknight Haxorus. Of course my phone goes off the second I start recording. Let me fix that. Okay. Anywho, Corviknight Haxorus, Sir, Megamane, Araquanid, Salazzle, Obstagoon, Passimian, Gligar, Stonjourner, and Wigglytuff. Ivy has a team consisting of Garchomp, Mega Venusaur, Togekiss, Chandelure, Vaporeon, Bronzong, Vikavolt, Scrafty, Cryogonal, and Zangoose and Floatzel. Ivy's team's very scary, very thick and fat in Vape, Bronzong, Scrafty, and Venu. Togekiss can also be very fat, very offensive, and Garchomp, Chandelure, and Vikavolt, as well as Scrafty being a problem as well. As far as what I think is coming versus me, whoops, that's my mod. Spoilers. I think Mega Venusaur comes. It just tanks a lot of hits from my team. It can take overheats from main. It can eat the fire hits or the electric hits from main. It's a good way to shut down Serp. It's a good way to shut down Salazzle. It's very bulky, very, very annoying, very, very hard to deal with. So it makes a lot of sense on the defensive side. I think Garchomp comes. Garchomp offensively pressures my team. It's faster than Haxorus, so it pressures it. If it's Scarfed and my Serp isn't Scarfed, it can do that. Or if it gets D-Dances up. Has fire coverage for Corviknight, obviously Quake for Araquanid or Main. Potentially with Stone Edge for Araquanid, it beats Salazzle. Goon doesn't want to take multiple hits. So Garchomp just does a really good offensive pressure versus me. I think Vape comes as a wish pass to try and pass into Venusaur, pass into Garchomp, keep them healthy. Potentially pass into Bronzor and Scrafty if they come. Just a very annoying Cleric set. I think Togekiss comes. It's probably going to be Scarf Togekiss if I had to guess. Togekiss, again, just has a good matchup. Fire Blast or Flamethrower for Corviknight. Obviously, Fairy Move for Haxorus. Flamethrower for Serp. Doesn't have much in the way of hitting main or Araquanid or Salazzle, but it's still a decent Mon versus me. I think Bronzong makes a lot of sense just from a defensive side as well. Allowing Venusaur to be Fizdef, Bronzong can be Spadef, also Levitate. Granted, I do have Moldbreaker Haxorus potentially. And last but not least is Scrafty to try and set up on me. It is possible Chandelure comes. I don't think it does, but Scarfed or Spec Chandelure is a viable option, especially if Vikavolt's brought for webs to try and web against me. The only thing is I do have Passimian and Serp to try and slow down the webs against me. So I don't know if webs are going to come versus me. But as far as the 6 I'm bringing, my Spoiled Obstagoon making his first appearance, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. So Obstagoon is Ice Punch, Close Combat, Knockoff, Bulk Up. Speed stat wise, we are creeped to the Zangoose. Ice Punch after the Flame Orb burn should kill Garchomp. Close Combat Knock just does a lot of damage. Bulking up in front of the Venusaur to smack it around. Ice Punch will do a decent chunk to Togekiss. Shandy won't appreciate a knock. Vape, unless it's Roar, I can set up on. Bronzong doesn't like the knock. Vikavolt doesn't really appreciate knockoff, especially boosted. Scrafty doesn't like the close combat. Cryogonal doesn't like close combat. Zangoose doesn't like close combat. Floatzel doesn't appreciate the hits either. 152 in the attack stat was all that was needed, especially after a +1 bulk up to really start getting damage going. Do have Lumberry Haxorus this time with Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Poison Jab, and Outrage. Lumberry so I don't get Will-O-Wisped by something, and I can heal that burn, or I can heal my Confusion. Speed Creep, again, we are faster than the whatever I just said for Obstagoon is actually not faster than Zangoose. This is faster than Zangoose. Obstagoon is slower than Zangoose. Are they both faster? I don't know. I'm not going to change at this point. I don't remember why my speeds are the way they are, but max attack and then 56 in bulk. With Mold Breaker, Earthquake, Poison Jab, and Outrage at +1 just kind of rip the team. I'll be faster than Scarf, unless it's Scarf Chomp, I'll be faster. Outrage will kill it. Earthquake at +1 will hit Venusaur. P-Jab at +1 should take out a standard Togekiss. Earthquake should take out Shandy, and I'd be faster. Vape is really the only thing that's a problem, but again, if it's not Roar, I just kind of set up D-Dances in front of it, and then 2-shot with Outrage. Bronzong gets Earthquaked, can't protect itself from Levitate. Vikavolt gets Earthquaked because of Levitate. Scrafty, depending on the build, and if it's Intimidate, could be a problem. Cryogonal doesn't take a physical hit. Zangoose isn't going to take +1 hits repeatedly, and neither is Floatzel. So, but that's the hack set. Scarf Salazzle with Sludge Wave, Fire Blast, Toxic, and Dragon Pulse. Modest max special attack. Speed Creep 333. It's actually a speed tie with Garchomp. So if it is Scarfed Garchomp, it is literally a speed tie. But the Dragon Pulse will do about 80% to Garchomp. If I can Toxic Venusaur switching in to get it put on a timer, that would be great. With the Corrosion, Fire Blast and Sludge Wave are going to do a ton to it. Togekiss is going to take a lot from Sludge Wave. Chandelure doesn't appreciate a Scarf Sludge Wave. Vape kind of sits in, but again, I can Toxic, so unless it's Heal Bell, it's not going to be able to sit there and repeatedly Wish Stall with Toxics. I can go into my answer to Vape. Bronzong I can Toxic down too, doesn't want to take a Fire Blast. Vikavolt doesn't want to take a Fire Blast. Scrafty doesn't necessarily, unless it's AV, doesn't necessarily appreciate the hits. Cryogonal doesn't like them, even though it's massive Spit Up stat. It's still going to take a lot. Same with Zangoose and Floatzel like Toxic. Mega Main here, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power, Ice, and Overheat. Pretty self-explanatory, modest. Speed Creep, faster than the Cryogonal, so I'll know if it's... no, faster than Floatzel. So I'll know if Floatzel was Scarfed. Volt Switch to pivot, because outside of Garchomp I can pretty freely pivot, which is why I've Hidden Power Ice. It won't kill Garchomp, but it will do a hell of a lot to Garchomp switching in. And then Overheat is honestly my best way of hitting the Mega Venusaur. So just have to be very careful I don't Flash Fire that Chandelure on accident, because I don't have a good switch into boosted Chandelure since I didn't bring a Araquanid this week. I do have Eviolite, Gligar with Toxic, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. Speed stat wise, puts me above Vaporeon, I believe. No, Vikavolt? Question mark. It's specifically creeped. I believe it's Vikavolt. Max, if it's like max speed Vikavolt or max speed Scrafty. It's one or the other that I'm running the speed for, so I can stay ahead of it. Spadef boost to try and help me take on the Vikavolt as well as the Chandelure if it's not running Hidden Power Ice. Stealth Rocks are really, really nice. Just start chipping Togekiss, Chandelure, Vikavolt all down. Toxic, just Toxic things and immunity. So I can soak up Toxics. And Earthquake, Stone Edge, 140 Adamant Nature, and then a little bit in HP investment. And we do have Specs Contrary. Superior. Speed creeped to the Garchomp, so I'm faster than Scarf Chomp. If he sets or if she sets web, I believe Ivy's female. If she sets webs on me, I'll be faster guaranteed. And then I'll have a Specs boost. Leaf Storm, Defog, Hidden Power Fire. Knockoff is weird. I know Knockoff is weird, but it's the best thing that I have to hit Chandelure, and it's going to do a ton of damage to Chandelure switching in. So it'd be a great way to catch the Shandy and take its item away. But I'm pretty free to just fire off Leaf Storms once Bronzong goes down. Because once I start boosting, Venusaur can wall a little bit if it's... Well, Venusaur and Bronzong need to go away, and then Stark can kind of just roll. But Hidden Power Fire hits both of them very, very hard, especially from a choice specs standpoint. Defog to clear sticky webs against me if I choose to do that, or if rocks get set up on me. Ivy doesn't have really a lot of hazards, so it's just there if I need webs off the field for Haxorus to sweep or something like that. And then Hidden Power Fire for Venusaur and Bronzong. So that's going to be the team. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the battle.